Hello YouTube, welcome to Beauty in the Empty Nest. And you can see we have Riley joining us in the back. I guess she thinks this is going to be pretty boring because she's not up here participating, but you never know. I'm sure I'll have my other animals come to join us. So I want to go through my October, early November favorites. And I also wanted to add in some regrets as well too. And I've been thinking about this because I hate ending on a negative sour note, which is what I always feel like with regrets, and they're certainly not supposed to be that way. So I think I'm going to start with the regrets first and then end on some of my favorites. I have skin and body care, I have some hair care, and I have a few makeup products I'm going to share with you. So please give me a thumbs up if you like these videos, and subscribe also. And of course, if you want to watch to see what my regrets and my favorites are for this time period, keep watching. So I'm back. I'm going to start with the regrets, and just like I always feel like we have to say, and I think it is important because I've been on the other side of this. Some of the products I share during my regrets may be your favorites, and I think that's wonderful. I'd like to know how you're making it work for you too. But I also don't want to make any regrets, say that these products are bad. They are not. It's just they don't work for me in my given situation, current status, and the desired looks that I have. So please keep all of this couched within that whole theme there, that my regrets are just things that aren't working for me, or on the flip side, maybe I don't know how to make them work for me, and that's where I'd love your input too. So first, let's start with some of my regrets then. The first one, and it's really surprising to me because I love this brand, typically almost all the products that they've had, although it is pricey. So maybe it's also good that I like this. It's by Fresh. It's the Sugar Lip Serum Advanced Therapy. So it's just a little, I think I got this as like a deluxe sample. And the idea for this is that it's a treatment, not a lip balm. So when you open up, that's the first thing you'll notice. It's not like an applicator to put directly on your lips. So you're supposed to squeeze a little bit out onto your finger and apply it to your lips as a treatment. I was using this at night. However, I have to say, I have not noticed any kind of really positive impact on the conditioning of my lips. We're entering winterish time right now, although it's been very mild here. But anyway, we're entering that time period where my skin has really started feeling the impact if I need a little bit more moisture. Also for my lips, I always get very, very dry lips during the winter. So I thought this would be perfect for this time period. However, what I found is I don't really notice a difference, and it kind of feels a little strange when it goes on. It's not, you don't put it on, you're like, ah, which I really had hoped. So for me right now, unless I'm not using this correctly, I've typically been using it at night, and as I said, just putting it on and just kind of letting it sit. But as of right now, it's just not working for me. So another regret, another probably very popular product with a lot of people that I've heard. Again, for me right now, it's just not working. It's probably some combinations of other things I'm using as well too, is the Philosophy Miracle Worker. This is the Miraculous Anti-Aging Retinol Eye Repair. So this is a little deluxe kind of smaller sample that came in a bigger kit that I got, also of, I think one of the moisturizers. So the idea is, has a little pump like this, it comes out, and you're supposed to just tap it on your eyes. I've just been using it at night, and I've been using it about 6 weeks. I have to say, I've actually felt as if my under eye area has gotten drier and more wrinkly, and that could just be the impact of age, although over 6 weeks you don't usually notice that much of a change over time. But I just have not been happy with this. I'm planning to continue to use this for another good 2 or 3 weeks, just because sometimes it takes, you know, a buildup over time until you start seeing the positive effects. However, I'm really, really, really looking forward to going back to my Origins. I think it's one of the anti-aging renewal creams that I really like, and I'll try and remember to link it down below. This one, it's just not doing it for me, which I'm surprised because it is a Philosophy product, and I really typically like a lot of their products. So unfortunately, a regret. Okay, other regrets. I'm going to move into a little bit of makeup right now. Again, a real popular one, and I wanted this to work. It is the NYX Micro Eyebrow Pencil. Now, it's so similar in look and construction to the Anastasia Brow pencil, which I really love. So it has a nice little, you know, spoolie at this one end. And then the other side is where the pencil comes out. My biggest problem with this is that as I use it each time, and I don't put very much up there, it breaks off. So I can't even, it already broke off a little bit, and I'm not pressing very hard. I never have this issue with the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, but this one, it just breaks off while I'm applying it. And then what I've also noticed is the consistency of the pencil when I'm applying it just isn't, it feels waxier, I think. I hope that's describing it well, but it doesn't feel like it just goes on nicely. I feel like after I apply it, I have to go back and really work with it. Where with my other eye pencil, again, the one I'm talking about to compare it to is the Anastasia one, I never even feel like I have to go back. Sometimes I do just because. So I know people have loved this, and I would love to love this. Simply because it's so much less expensive, although maybe not a huge price difference, but it is so much more expensive, and I do go through a lot of these depending on how I decide I want to do my brows for the day. So unfortunately, a regret, and I'm really sad that it's a regret. Another regret, and again, one I wish worked because it's a drugstore item, and I'd heard some really good reviews on it, is this eye pencil. It's by L'Oreal. It's the Voluminous Smoldering Eyeliner. So it's a nice chunky size pencil, which I have no problem with. It's actually kind of easier to use. You can still sharpen it to a very nice point. So I really wanted to find a nice brown eye pencil because it's not as stark looking. And I thought I'd heard some really good reviews on this. Let me go ahead and get some. And unfortunately for me, I was applying it. I like to apply in kind of the waterline and tight lining it also slightly underneath, and then go back and kind of buff it out just a tiny bit. However, this, number one, didn't last in my waterline at all, and then caused a little bit of an irritation in my eye, which sometimes happens. I have to be very careful on the eyeliners that I use for tight lining for that reason in my waterline. And then on top of that, it really kind of kept smearing down below here. So I always go back and initially smear it, but then it got bigger over time. So even though this is not supposed to be a smearing kind of one, for me, unfortunately, it was. I would have loved to love this. Okay, I think I have one last regret, and then we'll move into some of the good stuff and the positive stuff. Actually, two. One is a product, and I'll link the picture down below, and I'll also will link the review that I've recently done for it. It's the Laura Mercier. It's the blush and Face Radiance Trio, I think is what it's called. Beautiful, beautiful palette looking. Comes with 3 different items. It has her wonderful, wonderful highlighter, which is the Baked Max Radiance in 01. Love that highlighter. Very subtle, but still a real nice punch and glow to it, but not big glow time. Then it also came with a bronzer and also with a blush. So I already knew I loved the highlighter. However, the bronzer didn't do anything for me. I barely kind of really even showed up on my skin, and I am right in the middle of the continuum for skin colors. I mean, really. And then the blush was very disappointing. Much too much tawny and brownish in there. There wasn't, and when you see the picture, it has an overlay of different colors twirled in there. So maybe I also got one that did not have enough of the color part, because it certainly did not have enough color in it. And it just looked like a sparkly, and there were real sparkles kind of in it, a sparkly brown blush. Or bronzer, but I wanted a blush. So big regret. I hated to be able to have to send it back because I love Laura Mercier products, but that one did go back, and I already returned it because I wanted to get another product with my 20% VIB. So unfortunately, another one which is so shocking to me that it's a regret, and I've already returned it as well. However, I have a sample card for it. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay. It was the palette that has the Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and also had a highlighter, and also the Glisten blush. The reason I'm holding this up is I had 2 or 3 of these sample cards. Love them. Absolutely love them. These were fantastic for travel too. Absolutely love this. And that's what made me go out and say, okay, let me go ahead and get that palette. And it comes with, you know, a highlighter too. Hey, great. Something about, there's some difference between what the products here and the products in the palette, because they did not perform the same way at all. The bronzer had a kind of funny colorish tinge to it, and the glisten blush was certainly not the same as what I was getting off the cards. So, and I understand they probably have to make the product slightly different to sit on a card as opposed to within the palette. However, I love this, but not the palette. So really sad, because I'm really right now into a lot of those kind of little palettes, and I'll show you a favorite in a minute too. Okay, so sorry about all those regrets, but I wanted to share what I've been finding over these past 4 to 6 weeks. All right, let's move into fun stuff. I'll start out with body stuff. I love all these. These are hand creams, body butters, and really, I think 2 of them really are body butters. Only 1 is a hand cream, but I've been using them more as hand creams also because of the nice little portable tube. So this one, Delectable, is a hand cream. This one is in the coconut and cream. I love this. I got it, I think, through one of my monthly subscription boxes, and at first I didn't think I was going to like it because it left kind of almost a little tacky feel at first when I applied it. I loved the smell, but the tackiness, I was, oh, I don't know about this. But the tackiness diminishes very quickly. And then after that, your hands just feel like they have little silk gloves over them. So I love this hand cream. I've been using this at night. And then I've also been alternating between the other 2, which are, as I said, they're body butters in smaller containers, but I've been using them more as hand cream. This one, the Prince Harvey Hello Body Butter. I love the smell of this. Oh my gosh, I love this. There's also a perfume, Prince Harvey Hello perfume, that I think I might actually get, or body spritz, or whatever it's termed as. But I love this, and the body butter is really nice. I wish I had a bigger, again, I think I got this kind of as a deluxe sample with either a monthly subscription box or something. Just love this. May purchase a larger size and usually use it as a body butter instead of just a hand cream, but it works really nicely as a hand cream. Another one that I got from Sasha for Affinity Freeze in our, let's see, what was it? One of our swaps earlier on. This Kors. It's supposed to be body butter. I've been using it more as a hand cream just because I don't want to waste it. The smell, well, first of all, the product is wonderful, really moisturizing, but what would you expect anything different from a Kors product? But this smell, it's jasmine. I had no clue I liked the smell of jasmine so much. I'm going to smell it right now again just because, oh, I just love, I mean, these 3 smells have been fantastic, but I love this. So, as I've said, it's a body butter, but I've been using it as my hand cream because I don't want it to go away too quickly because I just love it. So those ones I've been adoring. Another kind of body product that I have been meaning to put in my favorites for the past several months, but always forget because I keep it in the shower. It is really beat up. I've actually had this over a year. Sorry, we're boring you, Riley. And I probably need to repurchase another one, but I got it from Forever 21, and it was a lip scrub. So it's a little bot like this, and I did get it a year ago when I was in Chicago, and I was traveling and I forgot my lip scrub and it was cold and I needed one. So this is wonderful. As I said earlier, I keep it in the shower. You can kind of see inside here. What I love about it, now first of all, it's not like one of those sugary scrubs that taste good and kind of just does, it doesn't feel like it really dissolves, but it has a nice scrubbing elements to it, whatever they are. So it does a nice job of exfoliating. But then the other part that I really like is the mixture, the medium that's mixed in with is so moisturizing. So typically I use this in the shower for a couple reasons. One of them is so it doesn't make a mess, and I like to do it in the morning. I scrub it around and then I get all those little gristly pieces off there, and then I let that kind of lotiony mixture sit on my lips for a little bit because it all around there because it moisturizes so beautifully. Then I'll go in as I'm in the shower and take a little soap and wash around the edges of it there. But this was under $2, I think. Forever 21, I'll try, this is the vanilla. I really didn't have any kind of, I don't smell any vanilla scent or anything, but I will hopefully be able to find a link to be able to put down below. But if you go to your Forever 21, I'm so sorry it's so mixed up, but I will have to buy another one because these probably don't last. This is probably already in that almost contamination zone. So I probably need to put that on my list to repurchase because I love this. I'm so glad I finally remembered. I actually ran back to the shower to get it. Yeah. Okay, some more products I love. I mentioned before that I am now transitioning into, I need heavier moisturizers phase for my face. rather than the summertime where I could get away with a little bit of lighter ones. So in the morning, if you know you've watched any videos before, I like to put a moisturizer on that multi-purposes. So one that has a nice SPF in it, because I hate applying them separately. Just one of those things. But I firmly believe in that you have to have several layers of SPF. My favorite one, and both of these are from the drugstore or Target or any of those kind of retail outlets, it's this one. It's a CeraVe AM, what do they call it? Facial Moisturizing Lotion. So this has an SPF of 30, I think it is. Yes, SPF of 30 in it. It's a nice moisturizer, not too heavy. It doesn't leave you glowy. One morning, it's got a little pump. I do about 3 pumps to cover my entire face, and it's really not that much. You pat it on, but then one morning, it doesn't instantly absorb into your skin like some of those other ones. I like the Belief Aqua Balm. Love that stuff. I wish they had one already with an SPF in it. However, so it doesn't instantly go into your skin, and maybe that's also some of the SPF in there, but it does very quickly in a minute. So I'll pat it on, I'll kind of rub it in, and then I'll start doing a few other things, and then before I know it, it has soaked into my skin. But it's not an instant one to just melt into your skin. So be aware of that. But I really, really like this. It doesn't leave my skin glowy looking, and it really is nice for the next applications of makeup. The other moisturizer that I use at night, again from the drugstore, is called Vanicream. It's a moisturizing skin cream. So this has no SPF. This is a really, really strong, wonderful moisturizer. It does maybe put a little glow to my skin, but I don't care because it's nighttime. I just look very glowy and radiant at night. But it really does a wonderful job. I use Retin-A every other day. Well, a derivative of Retin-A every other day. So my skin needs that moisture. Love this moisturizer. Very inexpensive. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. So those are my winter moisturizers I've just transitioned to. Let me share 2 hair care products that I have been absolutely adoring. This is stepping outside. This is going to the higher end, actually quite pricey, but it does everything for me. So I feel like instead of 2 or 3 products, it's one product. I'm gonna butcher the name. It's by Phytokeratin. It's the spray, repairing thermal protectant spray, weaker for weakened, damaged hair. So it looks like this. This is the full size. I also originally got this as a trial size. I can't remember whether it was just like one of those perks from purchasing some other items, or if it was, it might have been in a monthly subscription box, but I kind of don't think so. But maybe it was. So I got this and instantly I knew that it works. All I do, this is the only product that I use on a daily basis in my hair after shampoo and conditioning. I can even use it on dry hair. Come out of the shower, I spritz a few things all over, kind of rub it through a little bit, comb it back, let it air dry a little bit while I'm doing my makeup, and then blow dry maybe like 4 or 5 minutes at the longest. When I'm done, this leaves my hair really smooth feeling, smells nice, but not any kind of aroma really to it that you're like, oh, what's in your hair? It defrizzes it, it leaves a nice kind of shine to it, but it doesn't make my very fine hair collapse on itself. This is the only thing I have to use in my hair, which has been fantastic. Love it. Pricey, but really so worth it because it is I don't have to make a cocktail of other combinations of items, which I was doing previously. So right now, the state that my hair is in, still growing out a little bit of my pixie, it's been working divinely. The other product that I will use like every other day, or depending on what kind of a look I'm going for and where I'm going that day, is kind of what they call a transformation paste or transforming paste, and it's by Aquage. This is, I think, one of the smaller tubes of it. It travels really well because you don't need very much. It's just a normal kind of hair paste, so you can see. However, what I like about this is that it's very light, but it does the job. I'll do little pieces. So typically what I do it in the back here to keep these pieces down, do a few on the edge here, and then I do that thing of twisting a few if I want some different dimensions in my hair. Of course, I'm sure now I've made my hair just look wonderful. But it's light enough that I feel like I don't go overboard. It doesn't weigh down my hair. It doesn't have any kind of big scent to it or anything. It does leave a texture on your hands, so you have to wash them after that. But it really does a nice job for when you want to do some of that separation or texturizing to your hair. I used to use the bed head. I can't think, it was the blue kind of weird kind of look to it, but that tended to be very heavy. There was also another Aveda one I used for a little while. This I continually go back to. Okay, so I think now we're ready to move into, yes, into some makeup, and then we'll wrap things up. I do like doing the favorites at the end here, so. But I think it's very important also to include my regrets, because just something else to think about. So there's different reviews out there also. All right, 2 eye primers. I'm gonna start with the higher end one, and it's this Benefit one, the Air Patrol. Cute, kind of gimmicky looking container, I know. The idea here is that you top it off and then you do clicks. You're supposed to do it 1 click per eye and then apply it. All right, one thing I don't like about it, you see, I know maybe this is a little gross, I don't know if you can see, but there's debris left here. After I use it each time, I wipe it off, and yet still the next time I go back, there's still debris there. So I don't quite know why that happens. But what I like about this is it does layer a nice coating on my eyelids for a primer. Makes my shadows last. It does not make them crease. I don't have very oily lids, but they will get oily throughout the day, but they're not excessively oily. I also don't really have very wrinkly lids right now. Thank you. I do have a slight kind of discoloration. This does provide, as you can tell by this lovely little dollop still left on here, it does give you kind of a neutral beigeish kind of coloring over there. Real easy to apply. Put it on there, use your fingers to spread it out. So I have been very happy with this. This is, again, the Benefit Air Patrol. Okay? Other thing I don't like about it, however, is, bye Riley, that you don't know how much is left in here. I wish there was some kind of an indicator to tell you where this was along the line, because I'm afraid that one day it's just going to run out. So because of that, I started looking also for some others, and I found a drugstore one that I have really, really, really been loving. Matter of fact, I used it this morning. My makeup's only like 2 hours in, so it's not a good tester yet. It is the NYX HD Haute Definition Base for your eyes, basically. So it's by NYX. It's their eye primer. Comes out like this, so again it has a little color. I like this application method here too, and then I put it on with my fingers. It gives a little bit of slight coloring to kind of even out the eye coloring on your lid if you need it. This has been actually, I think I almost like this one better than this one, plus this is just a big case. Same thing, you won't really know how much you have in here, but this is actually also a lot less pricey than the Benefit one. This one also, I should mention, has a lot of good things in it for your eyelids as well too. I'll leave the link below, you can read more about that. This is just an eye primer. This one has some good stuff in it for your eye, the skin on your eye area. So you're paying a little bit more for some goodness to go to your eyes, which is really important. I mean, we don't want to neglect that as well too. However, I have to say, this has been really working well. Okay, let's see. Let's go on to another one. What should I talk about next? Okay, I talked about how I've been really into the blush and contour palettes. Maybe also for me, because sometimes I just have really a lot of trouble seeing what colors really go well together for makeup. Or I think what it is, I second guess myself. So I like it when someone already puts something together for me. Makes sense, right? So one of the things that I recently discovered also is I've been looking across at all these different palettes that come out with a contour and the blushes. There's one from Urban Decay Naked. This is the one in Streak. So they have 3 different colors. They have a flush, they have a streak, and there's another one, I don't quite remember what it is. But the idea is they have slightly different tones to their colors. So this, as I said, is the Streak. The difference here is this is a matte, more medium bronzer. So there's one, and I don't remember which one, that has a little bit of a sparkle glisten to it for the bronzer. And then there's another one that has a lighter bronzer to it. The highlighter varies very slightly. And then the blush is what is also different. So this is more of the peachy-ish kind of corally kind of blush. There's one that's a very, very bright pink that's very pretty though. And then there's one that's more of a plumish color. Okay. Riley decided to join us again. I really like the plum, but I thought the bronzer was going to be too dark for me. So I decided to go middle of the road for this one, and I've been thrilled with it. Let me see if I can get some swatches for you. I know these swatches never really come out as nicely as I would like them to. So, blush, highlighter, bronzer. It's not what I'm wearing today, unfortunately. Today I have the Hourglass bronzer on and a Sephora blush that's actually kind of really pretty, I think, too. But I really, really, really like these. I like these much better than, well, I like these just as well, maybe, I'm not sure, as the card version of the Tarte one that I showed you, but much better than the Laura Mercier one, which is surprising because I thought Laura Mercier would have rocked it out of the house for me. So these are the three colors. I will try and apply it to my arm. This is where we really typically fall apart here for showing you colors. Okay, so bronzer, highlighter, and the blush. Really nice, good quality Urban Decay. They blend very nicely. They may not be as forgiving as like the Hourglass bronzers, which I really love too, because it really, really takes a lot to overdo those because they just melt so nicely. This is more solid of a color. However, really, really nice coloring. I think it would really work also well on a pretty good range of the spectrum for color tones. Probably not that great if you're really light or if you're really dark skinned. However, I think right in the middle would really work well. Okay, another fun product, and this is, I'm just very late to the game on this. Very late to the game. However, I'm on it now. These Becca products, these mineralized skin pearl finish glowing highlighter things. I have these both in the color Opal. I got this from one of those little mini boxes. It was like $20, and you get both of these. Small sizes, obviously, but I typically don't go big, huge dents in my highlighters and other products. These are also great for traveling. So I know you're all very familiar with these products. Smaller version, here we go with, I typically have never been fond of using a liquid kind of highlighter. How well you can pick that up. But I have found on those days that I want a little bit of an extra bang or a little bit more, I will put this underneath first with a beauty blender and then layer on top of it, or I might just only do this. So this I don't use every day, but it has been nice when I do want to layer or when I'm kind of going for a different look. This Becca and Opal, absolutely love it. For me, it tends to be just the right kind of color. I'm going to put it to the other side there, and I'm going to have to hope that my lighting is picking it up. So I have tried, and I had a review on the Jaclyn Hill, the Champagne. That color really didn't quite work for me. And unfortunately, maybe it was because of the way I was applying it, it kept falling out and getting under my eyes here, even though I was trying not to put it there, and it was settling into my lines. So it was really making my lines under my eyes glow. Not my finished product. I've not had a problem with this one, maybe because it's slightly different consistency, maybe because it's already smaller, so my brush is smaller. I think it's more user application process than the actual process from, or the actual product, but have been really, really, really loving this. I actually have it on today. I did not apply it too heavily at all, but I just typically put it right up here, a little bit around here, and then there's usually very little left on the brush. I might put it down here and a little bit, but I'm not very heavy always with these, but really like this. I love the fact that it's not so powdery, but kind of creamy too, even with the powder one. So I'm late to the game, I know, but I wanted to share how much I've been loving that. Okay, 4 more products and I think that is it, so hang in there. Another one I've rediscovered, I've had this product for a while, Urban Decay Revolution Lip Gloss in the color Liar. I really love this, and it just kind of got to the bottom of my drawer. It's a beautiful color, little wand, that makes the color as a lip gloss. Isn't like really opaque. It just, isn't really transparent. So you can really see a nice color, but it's great for in the purse because you can apply it very easily without having to worry about skipping all over the place. Love this color. It's a nice kind of neutrally, kind of nudish color with a pop. So when you want a nudish color, but you don't want really nude, you want still a nice color, this Liar. And I love the lip glosses. They're very moisturizing. They're tiny, tiny bit sticky, but nothing that bothers me. It doesn't have the scent to it that I typically love. There's not really any scent that I can pick up on, but I still love that. Okay, last 3 products, and they all come from NYX, and they are the Butter Gloss lip glosses. So I have them in 3 different colors. I've had one for a little while. It's the Strawberry Parfait, which is this one right here. I'll put a swatch there. I'm gonna put it on the side over here. Okay, so there it is. That's the Liar swatch from the Urban Decay Revolution lip gloss. I also have what's called Vanilla Cream. I think it's Vanilla Cream. I really need to keep some reading glasses when I'm recording here. Yeah, this is the Vanilla Cream. So this is also kind of a pinky color, much brighter of a pink color. So that's it right there. And then one of my real favorites that I'm actually going to keep in my purse, or maybe I'll keep my lighter in my purse. I have to think about this. This one actually is a lot smaller though. It's in Tiramisu. And it's in Tiramisu. So this is a beautiful nudish color. I'm actually wearing it right now over some Bobbi Brown lip pencil in brownie pink, I think it was. Okay, so that is the Tiramisu. So these are the three NYX lip colors. This is the Urban Decay Revolution one in Liar. So two nice pinks here. Strawberry Parfait, Vanilla Cream, and Tiramisu. And then, so those colors, and the thing that I like about these as opposed to this is I love the smell. I just love that smell. That kind of cookie batter, vanilla-y kind of smell. It kind of reminds me a lot of MAC lipsticks. I love that smell. NYC also has some really good lip glosses, more of the very sheer kind of colors, but very shiny, that also have that wonderful smell. But these three NYX ones, I really like them. There's something a little bit different about them too, being such a nice kind of bright pink as well. They go on, they last quite well considering how inexpensive they are as well. They are a little bit tacky, but that goes away very quickly. You can see I applied this, I'll apply it again right now, just because, and then I get to smell this wonderful smell again. They apply and have a tiny bit of a tacky feeling, but it dissipates very quickly as well too, similar to the Revolution one. I have not found that with other ones, but it just, they're really, and they're very inexpensive. And they really, if you can find a good place that carries all the NYX, there's a really nice selection of colors. I typically get them at my Target. Target does not typically, or they're sold out half the time of all the different colors. So really been enjoying these, and look at all the marks. So I think that wraps up my favorites for the month of October and the first 2 weeks in November. I've got a couple of things that I'm working on right now that I'm still not sure if they're going to make it to a favorite status or not. So I didn't want to include them in this recording right now because they're likes right now, but I don't know if they're favorites yet. So as always, please give me a thumbs up. That really encourages me, and it's fun to be able to see that too. And please subscribe so that we continue to build this kind of YouTube family. I love the fact that we're starting to get conversation and comments. So not only are people providing comments, but then there's little conversations starting between all of you, which I think is what is the whole idea between building this community. So it's not only me sharing it, maybe I give you the prompt to be able to start the discussion, but then we start learning and sharing ideas with each other. That is my whole goal for all of this. So until next time, I hope that you're all having very positive, productive days and having fun with everything in life, including all of the makeup and skincare and the funness with that too. So until next time, goodbye YouTube.